and and then your basic, homekeeping stuff like toilets and garbages and all that stuff. But anyways, our volunteers have been working hard. They were out here on Wednesday setting the course and getting the pit set up for the boats to come, and it's a labor of love. But oh my gosh, it's so worth it when you see that first boat go out. I'm just kind of excited.
On the calendar, Water Follies final full weekend in July. What are some of the things maybe people don't know about special viewing areas that might be available, special ways to experience the event here in the Tri-Cities?
Oh my gosh, it is a lot of work to get down here and get your spot on the river shore, but you know what, we make it easy with our private hospitality and our hosted hospitality. We have a spot over in Pasco called the Bulldog Beach Club. That's hosted by the Pasco Chamber of Commerce, and that is crazy fun over there. They got the point where the point comes out, people stand out there, they have great viewing, and that's a really fun, relaxed place to go. You want a little more action, come over on the Kennewick side in the Hydro Hotspot. That's a really fun place to go. CG Public House and Catering has a no-host bar in there. We have a great lunch on Sunday. $99 for the weekend. You get to come into the pits and everything. So, that's a pretty cool one, don't you think?
I do. There's the start-finish line.
Well, that one's sold out, I'm sorry to say. Yes, our RVs are sold out. Our private hospitality is sold out. Everybody's coming down this year.
Okay, we focus on the boats. What about the air show this year?
Oh, my gosh. So the A-10, right? I've been emailing back and forth with the A-10 pilot, and he always signs off with attack. So I'm just so looking forward to them coming down. When they were here last is when they hit the Pelican,
yes.
and it took a big chunk out of the tail. So I'm pretty excited to have that A-10 back, and we'll have the B-29 bomber, or 25. Must be a 25. I get my B's mixed up, yeah. B-25 bomber, crazy cool, from the Vintage Museum in Seattle. And then just some wild little acts. Michael Wiskus will be here, the Lucas Oil plane. And we're trying to get him to race one of the vintage boats. I think that would be pretty cool.
That would be different.
Yeah, that would be really different. So, yeah.
Do want to mention that we've got another boat that's heading out, and that would be the HomeStreet with Jimmy Shane, your High Points champion. Not the champion, though, of last year's Water Follies. We'll talk more about that coming up. Kathy, thank you very much.
Thank you, Michael.
Reports on News Radio 610 KLNA, thanks to Washington Furniture and Hardware, downtown Kennewick, over 80 years. Along with Ben Franklin Transit, don't forget, $25 summer youth pass for unlimited rides all summer long, bft.org/summer.
Happy birthday.
Thanks.
Tony, I want to talk about the HomeStreet real quick.
Okay.
That they're out. And then Dustin will ask you just a couple questions about how it was out there and what you're looking for.
Yeah, no problem. Never seen it.
Oh, you've never been
No,
down?
never been down before. Did the first race there.
Yeah,
You know,
68,
yeah.
69, something like that. Since I was 4.
I'm excited to go check it out. I mean,
Yeah.
it should be a great race, and there's a lot of hype over it. So.
It's just good to see another race.
Yeah.
My God. That's
Yeah, it seems like the local people are really behind it too.
Yeah. Good.
Kind of like over here, you come over here, you feel welcome. It's nice.
Now, will you go to that?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We're glad to see their real race again.
Yeah, we're set to go to every race this year. So as long as we keep her going,
Well,
and
that's
keep
up to you.
getting faster,
A lot of that's up to you.
Yeah, that's it.
No pressure, huh?
I know.
Sorry, Ed.
That's why we're starting off slow.
The boat's come a long way.
Thank you.
You laid down a little oil on that last pass.
Oh yeah, you did.
Does that just tell you it was a gearbox pop?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm still learning the turbine stuff. I'm so familiar with the Grand Prix stuff.
Right.
I mean, that would smell disaster. But these guys aren't too worried about
Yeah.
a little bit of smoke here and there.
Okay, we are standing by.
And you gave the hops a lot of run for their money.
Oh, we had a lot of years running back
Yeah,
and forth.
yeah, you did.
Good time.
Oh, for heaven's sakes. Why does it have to be windy today?
Looks like the chop out there was just about right. Was it a little rough at the corner?
It's a little much for us. This boat's a little. This straightaway is fine. This corner's always terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Everything wells up down here.
That's why I said across over there.
Yeah.
Get you guys as you come around.
Yeah, we might do some hot, full laps later on, but right now Kelly just wants to get some gearbox temperature.
Yep.
Charlie? Charlie? We're going to ask Dustin a couple questions, then we're going right to you.
I don't know what mine is. I just set it down somewhere. It's gone. I'm waiting to see mine in the hauler. Fell in last year.
That's right, just dockside now. The HomeStreet Bank with Jimmy Shane just completed some laps. Tony Ott is with me, and special thanks on our coverage today, Rustine Family RV, You Pull It Auto Parts. So, Tony, the HomeStreet with Jimmy Shane right out of the box hit a hot lap, and everybody was standing.
Well, of course, they get the one out there on the side, and everybody gets to the shoreline and gets a chance to see what Jimmy has got in the first of the season for 2018, and it sure looked good as he was coming around the top end and down the stretches.
Now, the brightest boat in the pits is orange. It's the 440 Bucket List Racing. Dustin Eccles is the driver, and you've been out. You did a few laps out there. What were you trying to find out about your boat first time out on the water?
Well, the first time out here, we just want to run through all the systems and make sure everything's working the way it should. We did a lot of off-season work. We had everything out of this boat, so it's nice to be able to go out there, run some slower laps, and just shake everything loose and make sure that we did a good job putting it together.
Have you ever seen the Columbia this high?
No, this is by far the highest I've ever seen it, and the current is very fast today.
Is that challenging for you, especially when you get to that top end of the course?
It is. All the rough water rushes down here into turn number one, and everything happens faster when the current's this fast. So you got to really be on your game.
Were you happy with the boat?
I'm ecstatic. Everything we put together worked perfect. All the temperatures were exactly what we were looking for. Our data acquisition's working exactly like we would hoped. That's been a big battle for us. And now, as the day goes on, we're going to start stepping it up more and more and start putting some faster stuff in.
What are you hoping to hit? I mean, what's your goal here?
Well, this is a surveyed course today, so we're actually going to get some good lap times, and I'm hoping we can do a lap over 150 average. Last year, our fastest speed was mid 145, and the boat's handling so much better. It's basically a different boat. So if we can do a 150, I'd be ecstatic.
Awesome. Good to see you, Dustin. And by the way, happy belated birthday.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate it.
He was Rookie of the Year last year.
Yes, he was. Deservedly so.
Charlie Griggs, Griggs Ace Hardware, and Tony, once again, News Radio 610 KONA, proud to be a part of the Griggs family and the U3 family.
Absolutely, and we are very honored to have standing right here the man that's behind that and bringing in the Miss Ace Hardware, presented by Griggs, and we are so glad that you're here. Charlie Grigg is with me, and Charlie, thanks again for jumping up for the community here and bringing us the boat once again, the Turbinator.
It's my pleasure. We have a great time doing it. It's a fan favorite, pretty much undisputed. When that boat comes out on the water, the Tri-City fans come to their feet.
What got you going on that?
You know, as a kid watching the races in the 60s, the noise, the rumble in your chest, and when they left the sport for a number of years, and there was an ad in the paper or an article in the paper that said they were looking for a sponsor, and I thought, you know, this might be the time. You know, it's something that I have a passion for, and so I sent them an email saying, I'm not saying I can do it, but how much? And they sent me back a number, and I said, yeah, I think I can swing that, and it has been the most fun that I've ever had. You know, growing up watching on the shore, and now being a part of it. It's actually kind of weird because I sit and, you know, I used to watch the big names in boat racing, and all of a sudden I'm a sponsor and people are looking at me like I'm somebody, and it's really weird to have somebody look at you like that when I'm just a normal guy.
And not to mention that you have Ace Hardware, which is on a national kind of a sponsorship level, and that's something that this circuit needs, is people like that, the big boys like that, to step up. Having Ace
Polo was a sponsor of the sport, and so he knew what it was when I started talking to him, so all of a sudden now I've got an in, and so that helped out quite a bit.
Fun. Charlie, thank you so much, and we're proud to be an associate sponsor on the boat with you.
We're glad to have you guys on there. And we got Berkeley this year, and so that's a new one. Tri-Cities Insurance Pros, Blue Room are also sponsors, and I just want to thank all them too.
Yeah.
Thanks for having us on there as well.
You know, it's much like our coverage, Tony. We couldn't do it without sponsors like Griggs Ace Hardware in the Tri-Cities since 1939. They've been helping you in Pasco, Kennewick, Richland, your source for sporting goods, firearms, hardware, tools, clothing, recreational supplies. Proud to support the community and the U3 piston-powered hydroplane. Griggs presents Miss Ace Hardware. Find out what you need online. It's griggsonline.com or at acetricities.com. More from the Columbia River coming up, hydroplane testing and training here at Columbia Park on News Radio 610 KONA. that's right. Special thanks to our coverage, U-Pull-It Auto Parts in Yakima and Pasco. And you can find out more online at go2upullit.com. Rustine Family RV, Sanford Parkway in Pasco, family getaway since 1973. And Barry Long, Big Bear at Everstar Realty, 509-308-1194. Online, it's barrylongrealestate.com. Tony, we just had a chance to see Andrew Tate in the 9 out on the race course, and he mentioned they've torn that boat completely apart, put it back together, and he took it really slow.
Yeah, he just out there getting his feet wet and testing out.
We hope his feet weren't getting wet.
Yeah, well, true, as he makes his way around the river course here. Again, this is what it's about. This isn't race day. This is testing day, so there's a lot of that they're going through and testing temperatures and seeing if they're matching up to what they thought they were when they got in the water.
Locally, and you may have heard about this, you may have seen it on social media, there's an effort underway to get Miss Tri-Cities hydroplane in the unlimited ranks with automotive power out on the race circuit. And Bill Thompson is here. Tell us about this this dream that you have.
Well, it started out with Russ McElroy. He's the founder of our company. And also Mark and Mitch. They wanted to have...
The Evans brothers.
Right, correct. And our dream is to have a double-engine, unlimited piston-powered boat next year. But we're starting small this year. We're going with a Grand Prix, was Grand Prix 12. It's going to be Grand Prix 1 this year. Stands for National Championship. And it's going to be decked out as Miss Tri-Cities. It's a 6-time national champion. We're going to go for the 7th national championship, hopefully, and bring it home to the Tri-Cities. And we're hoping that that will generate interest for the big boat as well as the little boat this year for help and sponsorship.
And for those that know the boat racing circuit, the GP12, Greg Hopp.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Greg Hopp is the master of that haul. You bet.
By getting Miss Tri-Cities up on the sponsor of this Grand Prix boat, you're raising awareness of this whole campaign, and it is a grassroots effort.
Yes, it is. A lot of hard work's been in it, a lot of ground pounding, a lot of turn downs, and hopefully we'll have a lot of turn ups after they see the boat come into the pits today.
Talk about the automotive power plant with twin engines that you're hoping to utilize.
Well, Mark and Mitch has 2 of them up there right now in the shop, and they're 468s. There's Chevy supercharged engines, and they're going to be burning methanol. And with the 2 motors dialed in together, we could be pushing pretty close to 3,000 horsepower in that boat.
Amazing number. And there's been talk that you may utilize an Elstrom boat.
Hopefully. We're letting Mark do all the finagling on that one. You know,
well, there's nobody better to finagle than Mark Evans.
You better believe it. Yeah, he's awesome at that.
So tell us how to get information about the project here for Miss Tri-Cities.
Well, we have a website. We have Miss Tri-Cities Hydroplane LLC, www.hydroplane.us, and also www.Tri-City Hydro, which would be TCHYDRO.com for GoFundMe, which people can get on. And
what's the number? What is the goal?
Well, for the big boat or the little one?
The big
boat is about $1 million.
That's a big effort.
Yes, it is.
That's a big effort. Well, good luck, and we'll keep following you along the way. And obviously, with Greg Hopp out there in the GP12, GP1, Miss Tri-Cities, we'll hear more about it throughout the season.
Yeah, you will. And also, when the big boat gets in the water, you'll hear a lot from Mark and Mitch Evans on that one, too.
Good. Fantastic. Hey, thank you very much for joining us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you, guys.
So, Tony, what would it mean for the Tri-Cities to have their own boat out there in the unlimited ranks?
Again, it's happened in the past. We've had boats in the past, and it would be very nice. And it does say a lot as it goes around as far as the courses in the United States. It says a lot about the Tri-Cities. Everybody seems to know who we are that's involved with the circuit, but to have our representation on the side of one of the boats, it says a lot.
So, as we continue to watch the testing going on, and Andrew Tate is back with his team now, and it was kind of interesting. I spoke with him yesterday. When he goes out on this testing run, which he just completed, the 9 is back, Les Schwab Tires is back up on the trailer now, he doesn't really communicate with his team other than they talked to him about debris. That's going to be the major thing with the river flowing so high, is the potential for debris out there and which lane it might be in. Instead of him talking through any issues about what he may be feeling in the cockpit with the boat, he waits to do that when he gets back on shore because he doesn't want to be distracted.
Well, you know, every driver has their own personal way of handling their machinery, and I can understand that if it's all about the 100% focus. Besides that, his lineage is pretty good. I mean, he's got a pretty good understanding of how these boats operate. Goes all the way back to his grandfather. So I think that with what his knowledge is and how the boat is handling out there, if it works for them, and it seems to be doing that.
Yes, it does.
I think I wouldn't change that.
Second in the points.
Correct.
One boat that isn't here, J. Michael Kelly, well, our champion from last year.
Quite the champion. I mean, the whole shot right at the beginning of the race kept him out in front the whole way, and he finally got a chance to earn the Bernie tree, and earn it this time, even though that the year prior it was taken away from him. We got him back here this year, and he will have the shade and comfort of the Bernie Little tree.
Quick advisory before we send it back to Jenna at the studios. For anybody that's out pleasure boating today on the Columbia River, there are restricted areas, much like when we have the full race going for the upcoming water follies. You'll find that there's river patrols out there with the Coast Guard and the Sheriff's Office, so please be mindful of that. For folks that want to come down to the park, there is no admission charge. Parking right up front here next to the stage at the Neil F. Lampson Pit is available. There's food and other vendors here, including vintage T-shirts.
Yeah.
And you can check out the Miss Bardall up close and talk to the team members. It's really kind of fun down here at Columbia Park.
Yeah, the accessibility is probably the best you're going to have with this number of boats sitting in the pit area without paying a ticket and getting a pit pass to come down here. So come on down, enjoy yourself. I see lots of kids. In fact, there's a handful of them walking right in front of us right now. It's great.
Special thanks to our friends at Ben Franklin Transit. Don't forget your $25 summer youth pass for unlimited rides. Find out more at bft.org/summer. Along with Perfection Miller Paints, Magnolia Home by Joanna Gaines, available there just off Steptoe near Gage. And Farmers Exchange at downtown Kennewick, along with our good friends at Jiffy Car Wash on Kennewick Avenue. Jenna, back to the studios. We'll have more throughout the day on News Radio 610 KONA.